Hey everyone, and welcome back to Robots vs. Vampires.
The show where sci-fi and fantasy collide.
That's right. I'm Adrian Smith,
And I'm Julia Jones.
ready for another wild ride through the edges of imagination
We are going to dive into a story that really flips the script.
on what we think we know about vampires.
Yeah.
We're looking at a story today about Sadie,
A tough-as-nails orphan
who gets swept up in the world of a benevolent vampire.
named Marius.
But before we jump in, I gotta ask,
Okay.
what's the most unexpected thing
Mm.
that you've encountered in a story?
Oh.
Hit us up on social media.
Yeah, let us know.
We love hearing from you.
Okay, so back to Sadie.
Okay.
What struck me is that she's not some damsel in distress
Yeah.
waiting for rescue.
Right.
Right from the start, she's negotiating with Marius.
Oh, yeah?
Even threatening him with a silver spoon.
Wow.
That takes guts.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And she's not fooled by his fancy penthouse either.
Right.
Most vampire lairs are dark and creepy.
Yeah.
But Marius's place,
It's full of books.
full of books.
It makes you wonder. It does.
Does he collect them to blend in?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he genuinely a scholar?
That is a great question.
What do you think?
I think it seems like he's genuinely invested in teaching Sadie.
Yeah.
He doesn't just want to turn her into a vampire.
Uh-huh.
He wants to mentor her,
Yeah.
teach her about the world,
Right.
even how to navigate the city's underbelly.
Wow.
It's almost like a twisted Professor Higgins from My Fair Lady situation,
I love that.
but with fangs instead of fancy hats.
I love that comparison.
Yeah.
And speaking of twists,
Okay.
the way this story handles humor
Uh-huh.
really surprised me.
Really?
Sadie's street-smart sass
Yes.
clashes so perfectly
It does.
with Marius's old-world elegance.
It's true.
Their banter is hilarious.
Oh.
Like, who knew vampires could be so witty?
Right.
Yeah,
It definitely makes the story more engaging.
I agree.
You're invested in their relationship.
Absolutely.
So when the threat of these feral vampires emerges,
Yeah.
it feels much more personal.
Oh, man, those feral vampires.
I know.
They're like the polar opposite of Marius.
Totally.
Brutal, power-hungry.
Yes.
And they completely destroy their victims.
They do.
Talk about raising the stakes.
No pun intended, right?
But it really throws everything into chaos.
It does.
The treaty between humans and vampires
Yeah.
is fragile.
Uh-huh.
And these feral vampires are a powder keg
Yeah.
waiting to explode.
That's a good way to put it.
So Marius, sensing that war is coming,
Right.
asks Sadie to stand with him.
Okay.
Now, if this were a typical story,
Uh-huh.
Sadie would just blindly follow along.
Right.
But that's not our Sadie.
No?
She's not about to be anyone's sidekick.
Exactly.
Instead of standing with him,
Yeah.
she chooses to stand in front of him,
Yes.
ready to defend her new family.
It's amazing.
This really highlights her transformation
It does.
from a lone wolf orphan
Yeah.
to someone who fiercely protects
Uh,
those she cares about.
yes.
What do you think?
I think that moment really resonated with me.
It definitely hit me.
Yeah.
But just wait.
Okay.
The climax of this story
Uh-huh.
is pure adrenaline.
Oh, wow.
Sadie armed with stakes.
Okay.
And wait for it.
What?
Garlic-laced water balloon.
What?
Fights alongside Marius
Wow.
against a horde of feral vampires.
Awesome.
Talk about ingenuity.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a visually stunning scene.
I know.
You can practically see Sadie using her street fighting skills
Right.
alongside Marius's supernatural abilities.
Huh.
It's not just action, though. It's
Yeah.
symbolic of her
Right.
commitment to this new world she's chosen.
I agree.
Yeah.
And just when you think things can't get any more intense,
Uh-huh.
Marius gets wounded
No.
and offers Sadie a sip of his blood
Whoa.
for strength. I gotta admit, I was on the edge of my seat
I bet.
when she crossed that line.
It's the ultimate test, right?
Yeah.
Will she compromise who she is for power?
Right.
But in true Sadie fashion,
Yeah.
she refuses.
What a great ending to part one.
I know, right?
That's a powerful statement
It is.
about her independence
Yes,
and determination to forge her own path.
absolutely.
Be sure to stay tuned for part two of Robots vs. Vampires
We'll unpack even more of this thrilling tale.
and discuss what Sadie's choice ultimately means for her future.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It is.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
You know, it's fascinating how this story turns The classic orphan
Uh-huh.
and vampire tropes on their heads.
Right. Usually orphans
Yeah.
are portrayed as helpless.
Yeah, helpless and in need of saving.
But Sadie is anything but.
I know, right?
She's resourceful,
It's really?
resilient, and fiercely independent.
Yeah.
She doesn't wait for someone to rescue her.
Nope.
She takes control,
She does.
her own destiny.
Absolutely.
And then you have Marius, who defies the stereotypical bloodthirsty
Yes.
vampire image.
He's not lurking in the shadows.
No.
Preying on the innocent.
Instead, he's a scholar,
Yes.
a mentor, almost a father figure to Sadie.
I love that.
Yeah, he sees her potential
He does.
and helps her develop her strengths.
Absolutely.
It really makes you think
It does.
about how these classic tropes can be subverted
Yeah.
to create something fresh and unexpected.
It's true.
Speaking of unexpected,
Okay.
the story ends with this really powerful image
Right.
of the sunrise.
Yeah.
Sadie, unafraid of the sun, stands defiant,
Powerful.
a warrior who has found her place
Yeah.
in this extraordinary world.
It's a great image.
But it leaves us with a question.
What's that?
How will she navigate this delicate balance
Oh, yeah.
between the human and vampire worlds moving forward?
That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it?
I think so.
She's chosen to remain human.
Yeah.
Even though she's immersed in this vampire world. Right.
Does that make her stronger? Or will it ultimately hold her back?
You know what I think it speaks to her? Incredible
What's that?
strength of character.
Yeah.
She's not defined by her circumstances or by the expectations of others.
Right.
She makes her own choices.
She does.
And forges her own path.
I love that.
I agree. And that's what makes this story
Yeah.
so compelling.
What is?
It's about self-discovery, about finding your place in the world.
Yeah.
Even if that world is full of vampires
I know.
and ancient feuds.
And don't forget,
Yeah.
garlic-laced water balloons.
Oh, yeah, of course. How could we forget those?
But seriously,
Okay.
this story really got me thinking
About what?
about the choices we make and how they shape who we are.
Right.
What about you?
Absolutely. Did Sadie's journey spark?
Yeah,
Any reflections for you?
it did.
Let us know what you think.
We love hearing from you.
We do.
And don't forget to rate, follow, and share the show. Yes, please do that.
With your friends.
We would really appreciate it.
There's a whole world of sci-fi and fantasy adventures
Out there.
waiting to be explored. And we're here to
It's-
guide you through them.
We are so stay tuned
Okay.
for more epic tales
Yes.
where robots and vampires collide. It's amazing how Sadie's journey in this story parallels those classic hero myths,
Yeah,
but with a unique twist.
definitely.
She starts as this streetwise kid, almost an urban Robin Hood,
Right.
fighting for scraps and survival.
But instead of a magical sword or a wise old wizard,
Right.
she finds guidance from a centuries-old vampire who lives in a penthouse.
I know.
Talk about an unexpected mentor.
And that penthouse setting isn't just a quirky detail.
Right.
It tells us something about Marius.
What's that?
He's not your stereotypical creature of the night.
He's not lurking in a crypt.
No. He's chosen to surround himself with knowledge,
Yeah.
with human culture,
Yeah, with books.
even while living this double life.
It's true, and that sets up this really interesting dynamic between him and Sadie.
It does.
She represents this raw, untamed spirit,
Yeah.
while he embodies this refined, almost melancholic wisdom.
It's like they complete each other in a way.
I think so.
She brings him back into the present, reminds him of the vibrancy of life,
Yeah.
while he offers her structure and guidance, something she's never had.
I agree, and that culminates in this incredibly powerful moment when Marius offers her his blood.
Right.
It would be so easy for her to accept.
Yeah, to gain those vampire powers.
To gain power and immortality.
But she refuses.
She does.
I think that's where the true meaning of this story lies.
Oh, really?
It's not about gaining power.
What is it about?
It's about staying true to yourself.
Yeah.
Even when faced with incredible temptation.
Exactly. Sadie chooses to define her own strength on her own terms.
Right.
She doesn't need supernatural abilities.
No.
She has courage, loyalty, and this incredible resilience that's been forged in the fires of her tough upbringing.
That's what makes her such an inspiring character.
She is.
She shows us that heroism isn't about what powers you have,
Yeah.
but about the choices you make.
And ultimately, her choice to remain human, to stand with Marius, but not become like him, is what makes her a true warrior
Right.
in this strange new world.
This story really packs a punch.
It does.
We've got street smarts, vampire lore, epic battles.
Don't forget the humor.
And even some laugh-out-loud moments.
Yes.
All woven together into this incredible tale of self-discovery.
It's true.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected encounters can lead to the most profound transformations.
I think so.
And who knows, maybe there's a little bit of Sadie in all of us, ready to face our own challenges with courage and a dash of street-smart ingenuity.
That's a nice thought.
And with that, we wrap up another deep dive
into the wild world of robots vs. vampires.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review.
Please do.
We'll be back soon with more epic tales where sci-fi and fantasy collide.
We will.
Until then, keep exploring the edges of your imagination.
Yeah, you never know what you might discover.
You might discover.